Anaya Rain Robinson. She is our mighty force from God. The day that I gave birth to her was something kind of crazy because I went to the hospital. I'd been laboring all night the night before. I went to the hospital and I was so excited because I made it to a 5. So when they checked me, I was a 5. I was so excited because I was like, this is it. It's going to go so fast. They always tell you your second baby's going to come so much quicker than your first baby. And Duke came real quick. Okay, like 3 hours after they broke my water. I had confessed it, everything. Anaya, I got there at a 5, right? I was like, this is great. I was calling my mama like, hey, listen, when you drop off Duke got to go stay with our friends, Lindsay and Kyle. Thank y'all so much once again. I was like, listen, once you drop him off, you got time to go home, grab you something to eat, and come on to this hospital because I'm already at a 5. I'm going to have her at any moment. I think we went in and it was like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. I want to say my contractions were like 5 minutes apart. I was hitting it. I was feeling good. I was so excited. She was looking good. I was telling Antoine like, woo, this baby's gonna come by like, we're gonna have her. So it was like 9. I was like, by like 1, 2 o'clock, we're gonna have a baby. It's gonna be great. Yeah, that's not what happened at all with Anaya. I FaceTimed his family and was like, hey y'all, you're gonna meet your new niece or nephew or whatever. I'm already at a 5. It's gonna be so great. And no, I got up there in that bed. I walked around. I contracted. I labored. I did it all. That girl was like, nope. I stalled at a 6 and just chilled at a 6 for like hours. Okay. And I did everything I thought possible. When I had an epidural with Duke, he ended up coming really quickly after the epidural. So I was like, okay, cool. At a 6, I'll get an epidural with Anaya, relax a little bit, and this baby's gonna come real fast. No, she didn't. I got in the tub. I walked around. I got back in the tub. I did the ball. I did the peanut ball. I did it all. And that girl was like, nope, not coming. I got an epidural at a 6, and it was not a good epidural. I got numb from my belly button up to like my nose, and I just felt terrible. And so I expressed that to the anesthesiologist, or to the nurse, because the anesthesiologist had left. I still felt all my contractions and all the pressure in my bottom and my hips and everything from her. They called the anesthesiologist back, and she said, I don't know what you're talking about. It's a great epidural. It's in your head. So that was my experience with that epidural. During Anaya's birth, we had just moved to Nashville, and I had to get a doctor that would take me. And I ended up not liking my doctor. The reason I didn't like my doctor was because she was rude-ish and nasty to my husband. Whenever he would come to my appointments, she didn't speak to him, or she would like toss him to the side kind of when he had a concern or a question. And Antoine is a really great advocate for me, his wife. Like if there's anything that I ever need, he is my number one advocate. And so if there were questions that he had or concerns or issues, he spoke up because he's not a quiet husband. If you know him, you know this. And so she didn't like that. And so she never spoke nicely to him. And so that was a problem for me. She did care for me and for my birth, but she did not care for us as a whole family. And that to me was a problem. She was a Black woman, also my doctor, and that is a whole nother problem for another day that I will discuss on another video about how you should be an advocate for yourself, and more Black doctors should be an advocate for you as well because they're Black and they should understand. But we'll talk about that another day. But as a Black doctor, I thought that I was going to have this great experience and be able to tell the story to my daughter that, she was birthed. I gave birth, and this beautiful Black doctor was the one who pulled her out, and it was going to be just this blissful experience. And I just did not enjoy my experience with this doctor as a whole, holistically. And so having Anaya on a Saturday worked out because she did not work on a Saturday. So I got the doctor that was on call. She was a woman, though. She was not a woman of color, but she was a woman. And so I still was able to tell Anaya when she's a little bit older that she was brought into this world by another woman, which I think is the coolest thing ever. The entire team that was in there, all my nurses, doctors, the baby doctor, everybody that was in there was a female. So Anaya was birthed into the world in an all-female empowered room. And so I think that is one of the coolest things that I'll be able to share with her when she's just a little bit older. I remember when they laid Anaya on my chest, she just had the chunkiest little face that I've ever seen on a baby. I mean, she just was, I called her Chunkalicious because her little cheeks were full, her little lips and her little nose were full. She had a head full of hair, and she was just the most gorgeous little pink mama that they ever did place on my chest. And she was the girl that I've always wanted and desired. And just everything about that day was just so worth it, to have to be in labor for as long as I did, to have to endure the epidural the way that I did, to have to do everything. It's funny because with Duke, I was so well put together. I got my hair done that day with Duke. With Anaya, I was like, it's time, let's go. I threw my hair up in a knot and was like, let's just go have this baby. Like, there was no cares. I was just ready to get her out so badly. And so, yeah, it's just funny to think that it was such a contrast to when I first became a mom to my second time, when I thought it was going to be so quick and rapid. And I could have probably done my hair, gone to get my nails done, all kind of stuff, because she just took so long. But yeah, it was just a great moment. She was our rainbow baby. And so everything about her just exuded God's greatness to us, that she was our miracle baby, that we didn't know that if we would be able to have her or not. We wanted a girl so desperately bad. And to be able to just bring her into this world was something that is spectacular. And to know Anaya is to love Anaya. And so she is a powerhouse. She is everything that is girl power and empowerment and strongness. And I am delighted that I am the one that gets to raise her to be the powerful woman that she is. I was just so excited to indulge into all of the girliness that I could. And it's okay when you have a girl to want her to be as girly as she possibly can. Probably in the hospital in the first 2 months of her life was when she got to wear all the bows and frills in pink. And then quickly we realized she doesn't like bows. She will rip them out. And so, yeah, my dream bubble got popped. But I think one of the coolest things that happened, though, when I had Anaya was that Duke got to come to the hospital and meet his little sister. And I didn't realize how special that moment would be until we were in it. And he was sitting there and he literally was just speechless. He was just staring at her the entire time, and he didn't know what to say. And it was just so precious and so beautiful that he just got to see his little sister for the first time come out of the womb. And he got to hold her in the hospital. It was so cute. I remember when they gave her first bath and she got her hair washed, and she was so quiet and she enjoyed every moment of it. And the nurses were talking about how much they loved washing her and washing her hair and that she was just so cute. They loved to get in that hair and get it all clean. And she was just, I don't know, it's just another feeling having a girl. It was just all the blissful girliness feelings in the world. I was exhausted, but it was so worth it. It was just so worth it. A few words of wisdom when you have a girl, or in the 2 years that I've had this girl that I know, never stifle their voice. Our daughter has a voice and a personality that will top everybody else's in this house. And I've learned that I cannot stifle or quiet down her personality to fit into the box that I want it to fit into, because that's so often in society what the world wants to do. They want to quiet women down. They want to keep us in a box. But we're so powerful in an era right now that we have a female vice president. We have a female Speaker of the House. Women are in power and doing so much I want my daughter to live in this moment and know that this is her time. She can do whatever she wants. This is her moment, and that women can do it all. We can be a mom, we can be a wife, we can be a businesswoman, we can be a lawyer, we can be vice president, we can be president. We can run the world and run our houses and run everything just the same. And I just want her to remember that she has the heart and the mind and the spirit to be able to do it all. She was fearfully and wonderfully made, and I am blessed to be able to nurture that.
That's good.
Daddy's voice. You went back to sleep on Daddy?
Right now, I'm looking at pictures of it.
Afternoon, high 88. Chance of rain, 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
If she couldn't get a divorce, Kim Kardashian, Chris Humphries.
Really starts to strengthen. The reason why it's been strengthened is this. It's moving over
Oh, it's like a lot. I wonder if it's her.
and not made landfall somewhere. So it's always concerned when our models take it into the Gulf of Mexico because that